3 finish, of course. Vici also trying to attempt to become the second consecutive Chinese team to reach the upper bracket final alongside their friends from LGD. That would also guarantee them a top 3 spot, and there's DPC points guaranteed for whoever wins this next game. Lots on the line between these two teams as we head to the 3rd and final draft. And don't forget, we also have the 1v1 competition coming up straight afterwards as well. Gents, you ready for this game 3?
I'm ready. The crowd's ready. Today is a Chinese holiday. It's like I guess Ancestor Day is the way to describe it. So you're supposed to go.
I think it's the Qing Mai
go to the graves of your ancestors and clean
Qingming.
Qingming.
Yeah,
Really?
close enough. Close enough. Qingming Jie. So that's part of the reason why there's a much bigger crowd here today. But also they have this matchup at night, right, at prime time. So everyone getting off work and school and whatever other duties can come through and watch their hometown team play.
Our boys Mineski. Banning it out, baby.
So time to...
I don't know about that one. Maybe.
Okay. Well, Willow got banned, but the one that we thought might get banned, the Underlord, hasn't.
Gyro Underlord. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
And they have left the OD on the table. And so, so this is probably to discourage a discouraging deterrence to the OD. I'm not sure if it'll be enough to stop Vici from taking it, but
I like it. I mean, if you want to Nyx or you want to OD into Nyx, I mean, it's just YOLO. I think it's one of the best heroes to play against OD because the way the Astral works, I'm sure everyone's seen it, but just to confirm, the damage instance is a frame after you pop out, so you can Carapace from inside of Astral, like as it breaks, and then stun and deal damage on the Astral. You can also hunt the OD if he's ever pushing waves with it. Obviously, the mana burn on an incredibly high int gain and int stealing hero is good. And there's the DP. I like this choice from Mineski, switching it up a bit. I don't think you want to go Gyro into an Omni Knight, especially after picking it twice in a row.
You go AA, right?
I mean, on Mineski, yes. On Vici, it's a little rough against Nyx. I don't think Vici is comfortable enough with it at the moment to first to it.
just take that Underlord. Oh, no. Well, then they'd have to run it together, right? So that's unlikely. Maybe just a life stealer here.
Yeah, by the way, when you guys were talking about Nyx against OD, Mushi told me a solution to Nyx against OD. You just buy a hood as your first item.
I could see it. Like that's drums, hood into your mobility items. I like that. I could think they go with their support here if you're Vici. You could go for like the Gyro, but I think you might want... I feel like they could just take Disruptor. Like Disruptor, Witch Doctor, they seem to favor. They keep saving them for later, but in this game, when there's no like core I think you're really looking for, you just pick one of those. I think the Disruptor Omni is just like this great combo that China loves to utilize, and Mikasa is real hype about something. He has faith in this draft. But they're using a lot of time.
So they have done a few times.
Radiant team back.
Yes, this is the hero. This is the hero that will outrange the DP.
It's like the traditional DP counter. Super solid with the Omni Knight. We saw this utilized, I think, the last series, right? In that game 3, if I'm not mistaken.
You're high armor hero. You tank the DP LT. You have Omni Knight by your side.
It's a great game 3 hero because it almost guarantees you'll win the late game. It's just really good. It applies pressure just by existing. Every minute that passes by, you feel like you're getting closer and closer to a loss.
How to pressure the Terrorblade? We can't let him farm, guys. We can't let him farm, guys. We can't let him farm, guys. This is what goes through your mind in the game against Terrorblade.
Radiant team
I think it makes the rest of the draft a little bit easier as well, right? Like you have your winning combination right here. Your mid, you can go for something a little more stable. You can grab these kind of Viper DKs, and then
Doom. How about Doom against Terrorblade?
I think you could do that.
And
But
Omni.
I feel like you might want some hero. Like instead of walking around with fire, how about a hero that could call down fire from the sky?
Sounds good, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much time you ever spent playing World of Warcraft, but people have a very difficult time not standing in the fire. All right, I wasted a lot of Mondays because people couldn't get that through their heads. And Underlord has like 3 other abilities that are pretty broken, and he kind of crushes the Omni in lane and the Terrorblade in the game. Just saying.
When you say about crushing Omni in the lane, I think I recall Omni. I've seen this matchup, but Omni in the matchup only can win the lane if it's a pure 1v1 matchup.
It's more, I think, that you have the sustained damage output. You don't really care about GA as much when you just
10
stand in the pit
seconds
and then the rain and fire is still coming down
No,
on them.
I
even
mean
through
the
GA.
laning phase. If you lane if you lane
Who
against
cares about
Underlord,
the lane? Underlord wins. And then, I mean, you could not win so much, but it's still Underlord. Like, I feel like you could make any argument you want.
Mhm.
I would just say Underlord.
you
I
can
win.
you can lose the lane, but you're still Underlord.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant team pick.
Yes, Underlord incoming.
You gotta pick it. I mean,
Has to.
Vici, Mineski, please, guys, just pick it. I mean,
What if it's the Sand King again? instead?
Oh,
God, no. I mean, you need some clear. Maybe
10
I don't really
seconds
like the
remaining.
puck.
Do you think they can hear you from in here?
5
I
seconds
I
remaining.
gotta start yelling.
Dire
Yeah.
team pick.
You need to you need to
I-
yell louder.
I like the Disruptor, though, because it is an excellent hero with the Underlord, and I think that's the go-to hero for Vici in this game. We saw that it's the Disruptor Omni. It allows you to both be able to play very defensively and
10
win team
seconds
fights, and then you
remaining.
always have that catch. And if you pull them into the Omni Knight, they're in the
5
D-Gen,
seconds
somebody
remaining.
repelled hitting them. Like, we literally saw LGD crush with this, where they just bring them into the killing field, or kinetic field, rather, and then the TB just whacks them.
It kind of is the killing field if
is.
it does it properly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's when you've like routed them in the team fight, right?
That's new. Shadow Demon with Tyroblade.
One of the old Chinese specialists.
Just to confirm, it is
team
dispellable,
pick.
the ultimate, correct?
Okay.
Is that a block pick?
It is, but I believe it. OD is one of my favorite heroes to play against Omni. You play into the GA very well. You can just kill people through it because you're attacking for pure damage. And whenever you're playing at this ST Terrorblade, you're going to be able to
10
one-shot these
seconds
illusions.
remaining.
And the ultimate, of course, AoE just immediately kills all illusions and
5
does
seconds
oodles of
remaining.
damage to these agility heroes. And you just have the illusion clear. Also, great synergy with the Disruptor because you pull them into the field and OD can just whack them. And it's like we talked about, whenever you have a Lion or a Disruptor, some hero that guarantees catch and 3 to 4 seconds of lockdown, you really like these heroes that have that immediate burst pressure.
Radiant team back.
Shadow Fiend, an excellent counter to the OD. Traditionally, Mineski's been last banning it in a bunch of their games. I really like it. Great hero to get repelled, a buyer of BKB, which is going to be so key in this game. And if you look at Mineski's lineup, they have the DPOD cores,
10
but
seconds
no real
remaining.
raw physical damage output, or some hero that, as the game
5
continues, will
seconds
scale to deal
remaining.
more
Dire
physical
team
damage,
back.
whereas Vici is going to hit this timing. You have SFBKB, 7 Terror Blades hitting your racks. It's a real grim spot for Mineski to be in.
What's the Lamb hero? Kunkka would have been a good final pickup for them, but it's been removed.
10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
something that provides a lot of control. They got rid of the Elder Titan early on as well. I think they need some more range
Shadow
to catch
Demon.
with this.
remaining.
Plus Lash.
You know, Undying could be insane here, but they have really limited stuns if that's what they
I thought about the Undying too because it's a Lamb hero. But then they will be left with, yeah, like you mentioned, very little disables. But
I think they need something like an
Radiant
Earthshaker, some
team
kind of.
pick.
Oh, that works too.
Ah.
That works. I like that pick a lot. Excellent up against the Knicks, roaming against him. You pop him an ult, pop your ult on him, and all of a sudden you find him. And look at the raw damage output on Vici's lineup. So much minus
insane.
armor, a Terrorblade, the Omni to help. Like, their lanes are strong,
10
their mid game
seconds
is strong.
remaining.
They have easy item timings. They are a terrifying draft right now, and
5
I have
seconds
no idea what
remaining.
Mineski last picks here to give them a win condition.
Still need their offlaner.
Potentially.
I'd say it's
Or a
definitely a
support.
nice hero, which is the guy you want to be picking for in this spot. But what do you
What if
choose?
it's like an Enigma or something?
I think that's the direction I would want to go. Like an Enigma.
Enigma's good
I was
against
thinking of Visage,
GA.
but that just doesn't seem good. But I think you need a game-winning hero with this pick.
Enigma sounds good though.
Yeah.
It's great against the GA. They
Mhm.
don't have a BKB piercing stun apart
Yep.
from the bash.
Exactly. And
That's whatever.
Whenever I see that, I think Enigma at the very least gives you a chance to win the game, right? And I can't think of many other offlaners here that change it too much. Like you can't pick Underlord or Timbersaw or any of these like nice tanky strength heroes for Ice. A hero like Puck isn't going to do enough to really change the game. Maybe a Beastmaster?
He doesn't like playing Beastmaster.
It's also terrible here. Never mind. I pretend I never said that because they're playing against Shadow Demon Terrorblade.
I think they would consider Timbersaw, actually. Like another form of damage output, good against illusions.
Tide is okay against Terrorblade. You have a lot of damage mitigation that way. You have the Kraken against the Slaughter, Corrosive Haze. But doesn't feel like it's enough.
If Mineski wins this game, they're going to need to snowball through the laning phase. Mushi's going to need to play like a boss. And it's a repelled Terrorblade, and they don't have any BKB piercing anything.
Lots of damage on one side. Jack, has it swayed you?
Damage and synergy, and coming off the momentum, I guess, winning last game. However much you want to factor that in, I got Vici for this game.
Tough to recover from a loss like that, so I'll have to go with Vici.
Okay. 2 for 2.
I was just baiting these guys this whole
3
time.
for 3.
How are you going to back China over your boys, Winter? I'm flying the flag. Mineski's got this. Ice is going to hit a huge Ravage, and Mushi's going to take home the game by dropping hella hammers.
Okay. Not entirely sure that we're all convinced on this panel of where the outcome of this game goes, but that's okay because it's not them that decide. It's the players inside the arena, which is where we're heading now for game number 3.
Thank you, Red Eye, here with Lacoste at the arena side right now. It's time for game number 3 of this matchup. Winner secures a top 3 spot. The loser going to have to battle their way out of the lower bracket. Lacoste, your take on the draft?
Well, I wanted more teams to pick Shadow Demon, and it happened. I prefer Vici's lineup. As panel mentioned, they have nothing to deal with let's say, if game drags for another 40, 50 minutes, like this lineup doesn't scale that good. You have a Tidehunter, you have OD, like once they get the BKBs up, they have a Repel as well. They won't be able to deal damage. And the lanes are looking good for Vici as well. I thought the last pick for Mineski could have been Brewmaster, just to deal with the illusions. They have no lockdown for him whatsoever. So that could have been a free Brewmaster game, but they have a Tidehunter.
I mean, we've seen Ice on the Tidehunter many times before, but obviously it feels like it's going to be on him to land those clutch Ravages and make setup for Mushi. Throwback maybe to the Orange Esports days of his mighty OD. If he can pull out that in this game, it might earn them a spot into that top 3. But Vici coming into this one with what feels like a more favorable draft. Move in early with the smoke. Get a ward down on those side camps. Mineski, a couple of wards themselves towards that mid lane, putting extra protection out there for their boy Moon on that Death Prophet. For the top lane, for now, a dual setup between Jabs and Ice. Bit of a 2-1-2 here. We'll see how Lanham wants to position things out. Don't see Lanham too often on your Slardar.
Yeah, Slardar is kind of a hero that is on the rise, substitutional to a Sanking. Since they removed the damage amp from Guardian Sprint, it's been picked up more often. And with this all heavy right-click damage from Terrorblade and Shadowfiend, plus you have extra aura from presence of the Dark Lord, it just fits the lineup nicely.
Pull out your third eye here as we check out all lanes at the same time. We see Ice pulling the wave all the way back behind the tower here, but it's mid lane where we're seeing some early fisticuffs. Harassment on the Paparazzi with that Thunderstrike from Ninja Bookie and the Crypt Swarm to fly out. 2-on-2 here. Bit of a throwback to our previous patch. Paparazzi not liking this Thunderstrike a bit. Continue to trade it about.
Yeah, Slardar can't really trade hits. Doesn't have a stout shield. Disruptor is king of the hill here with the harassment.
Another Thunderstrike. God damn, that's got to be annoying. He still has a clarity to kind of work through if you'd like. But Paparazzi is going to be forced to work on his Tango game now. And handing over an early start for Moon to kind of get the lane to himself a bit. He'll salve out, or rather bring out extra regen in the south.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw Shadow Demon and Terrorblade. It's been pretty much when Shadow Demon and Luna was really popular.
The early banish of that disruption. Vici going to be dealing with the illusions, but look who shows up. Lanham from that mid lane moves on in with the crush. And with the Metamorph, they are dishing out plenty of right-click damage. One more. Ooh!
Oh, Magic Wand plus Fairy Fire.
Yep. Barely holds on and avoids the trouble. Metamorph not going to lead to a successful kill. Jabs takes his turn on this mid lane now, poking shots at Paparazzi while Moon picks up the double damage. Scoping out the top lane now. Ice, who had pulled that early wave, gets a one-on-one matchup against 11 in his Omni Knight. This is going to be pretty much a win for both offlaners. Omni, of course, not going to be able to bring out too much serious right-click damage with an anchor smash there.
Yeah, both of them are going to farm on that lane.
Uh-oh. Can he survive a second time, though? I don't think so. Crush is there. And there's the right click. It's going to be Fenrir who picks up the last hit. Lanham could be next, though. And a nice return fire there from Ninja Boogie, but feels like now for the third game straight, Vici Gaming scored the first blood.
Yeah, I mean, their lane is much stronger. OD in dual tri-lanes, the hero just does not work. It doesn't provide you with anything, no damage. He has this Astral level 1, which is a good save, but only for himself. He needs to get in a bad spot to save the others. So mid lane, a lot of pressure on Shadowfiend again.
And Jab's still here. Saw the Soul Siphon fly out. Hoping to get extra bit of harassment onto Paparazzi, our 1v1 champion from the last DAC on the, of course, mid lane Shadowfiend. 12-3, neck and neck with your Death Prophet.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling this Nyx Assassin position 4. It's going to be really hard to set up ganks. We saw him in the game number 1, where he only got the ganks going once he picked up that Invis rune and after level 6, which needs 10 plus minutes. Like, it's hard to gank Shadowfiend with Nyx Assassin.
Jab's trying to find a way to be able to make it work. And it's going to be just as hard for Vici to get an approach on the mid lane. They still have that ward coverage. You'll see Lanham slivering over. And Moon should be wary of this. It was pinged out now. Be a little careful.
Paparazzi doesn't have any mana.
He's moving in.
Has Mango,
Moon's
though.
going to get hit.
Sorry.
Soul Siphon. Crush. Thinking about turning it around. Jab shows up. Connection with the stun. But Moon too nervous to fight on forward.
So yeah, Mango used on Shadowfiend. They didn't get the kill. Shadowfiend is one of the better heroes against DP because he's not affected by Spirit Siphon. With 2/3 raises, he can easily take her down.
Yeah, so much burst potential on that Shadowfiend. Makes it very cautious for the DP to move on forward. Winner of the CS right now actually belonging to your Omni Knight. 22-5 in that top lane. Obviously, again, a win for both sides here, but he's bringing in the last hits along with Ice at 21-3. Your offlaners are going to come online pretty early. He's smacking him home right now, just really tenderizing the watermelon.
He's out regioning that harassment mid lane. Paparazzi with
Gets it done.
Yeah, with the double raid band build. He's gonna go for a shrine, heal up, and come back to the lane.
Warming up for the 1v1s later tonight. Successful takedown of that DP. Now 2-1 advantage for Vici Gaming here. And I don't know what extra assistance Mineski could really pull out here for their mid lane, but maybe looking for new opportunities elsewhere here. Jabs rotating in through the bottom, making it a full tri-lane setup for Mineski. But never going to be easy. You know, Fenrir constantly on the side with that disruption and Lanham on the other, hiding within the trees.
And not the best game for spiked Carapace as well. He still didn't skill anything. If they're gonna need some extra burst damage, he might go for Mana Burn or Carapace if he feels threatened.
Here comes Ninja Boogie through the mid lane. He's got a smoke. As Paparazzi confidently moving on forward, he'll drop down the early kinetic field. A rotation, though, is going to be just too late from Fenrir. And he's looking to take out his extra aggression on the Ninja Boogie, who's just going to pop the TP and get out of there. Good gank to the mid lane. Evens things up now for Mineski, 2-2.
Yeah, OD 20 CS against Terrorblade's 27 on the bottom lane. Metamorphosis is up, so they might want to rotate there with Shadow Demon and try to get a kill.
Here, Lanham is eating some shots, but at that moment, looks to run out the other direction. Your Metamorph is back up here for Ori if they want to kind of turn up the gas here in your bottom lane. And obviously with Ninja Boogie away from the neighborhood, Mineski could be susceptible, potentially getting caught off guard. Boogie maybe going for a run back towards this mid lane.
Arcane Rune on a DP, and they want to use it. They want to pop that ulti. No boots on both mid laners.
It's about to go if he wants to pop it. Has to happen right now. Nope. Go for it. Top lane, our off laners, our big breadwinners, it looks like. This time Ice is taking over. He's at 40. And now neck and neck. They both 40. Getting pretty yoked, but here we go. Mid lane. Action to break out. TPs from all sides right now. They're able to move in with the disruption save. Holding back Moon, but it's not going to stop him from getting the follow-up on the paparazzi. He gets taken down. Ninja Boogie for a TP. He's gone again. All right, back-to-back successful gank approaches here from Mineski to bring down paparazzi a second time.
Yeah, the problem is that Shadowfin does not have boots. Most of the mid laners are kind of skipping boots early on. They just tank up with the wands, with the raindrops. But this game, Shadowfin could have gone for one. Like just to dodge the Nyx Assassin stun, run away from DP, who doesn't have boots, didn't have boots, now she has one. So both offlaners are going for Helm of the Dominator. Already one finished on the Tidehunter. We're gonna see some mind games going on. One taking the creep, then the other one just taking it back in again. Ninja Boogie mid lane.
Yep. Pull back, kinetic field. Are they going to get a third takedown on the paparazzi? Yes, they will. Killing spree for Moon. After that initial takedown from paparazzi, he's been struck out 3 times now.
Yeah, good rotation coming out from Disruptor. He is level 5, almost 9 minutes in, which is pretty great.
It's like the most ganking I've ever seen from a Disruptor in a game like this. This is crazy.
I think they will need to swap Terrorblade from bottom lane and toss him on the top lane and have Omni Knight, or just to play more around Omni. Use him in these fights. Especially when they decide to dive. He doesn't have a TP in his inventory. It's in the backpack.
Boogie thinking about yet another approach towards the mid lane. Well, Lanham's coming right his way, and he'll glimpse him right back into the arms of Moon. Crush is going to be there, though. Should slow him down. And Lanham avoids further trouble. But now we see Fenrir joining in on the mid lane action. That leaves Terrorblade alone in the bottom lane, and he's not even going to want to hang there. He goes right to the jungle. And this opens things up for Mushi on the bottom to just farm his way forward. So definitely attention has been warranted from Vici Gaming after those multiple takedowns in the mid lane. Their support staff has begun to rotate away.
DP is doing great. 21 denies so far. Honor, which is a lot of XP taken from Shadowfin. Look at the region on Tidehunter, 22 per second.
Yeah, you're not gonna be breaking this guy down too fast. He's got the Satyr as well. He's just casually tossing out some Hadouken action here. And well, there's a Helm on 11's side if he wants to take it back. Scan from Ice, it looks like. No one behind the tower, so he'll just move on in and take the wave.
So Shadowfin is forced to move to jungle, so someone needs to pick up XP on the mid lane. Another gank coming out from Ninja Boogie.
Yeah, the substitute in the mid lane may pay the price, but now is stepping from 11 with Purification. Does some work on the Moon. He forced back, but here comes Paparazzi back at it again.
Yeah, since Omni Knight rotated, game is going well for Mineski, so Omni Knight is forced to TP, which opens up the space for Tidehunter to do things on top. What did he just buy? That's Soul Ring. Have mana sustain. There's a Tome of Knowledge from on the jabs. He wants to get that level 6 on Nyx Assassin.
Smacking away at a tier 2 now in the top lane, by the way.
Yeah, he took over the Siege Creep as well, so that's a double Siege Creep wave.
Okay. Oh. Someone's got to deal with this big guy. Okay, Terrorblade says, I guess I'll have to step in. He heads that direction, welcomes him with an Anchor Smash. We see bottom lane, force back of the Omni Knight. Extra bit of harassment. And here we go. Move in. Crush. Quick Astral, though. Drops the hammer. Not enough to go for the finish. Lamb tries to make it away. One more right click could do it. Can he juke? Hiding behind the trees? Well, 11 steps in, and a Degen aura that's been leveled up. Mushi can't move anywhere. But here comes Jab, steps in. Nice purification. Heals land him up. Here comes Paparazzi. One raise. Second raise. And gets Mushi down.
Yeah, meanwhile,
Top.
actually, he killed it.
The true core here. There's a Ravage. And there's a Static Storm. You take
He's
our
out.
core. Oh, the Thunder. But is it going to be enough? Oh, with Paparazzi showing up, it is. How did this man get up here?
Yeah, this Static Storm plus Kinetic Field didn't connect. I think they were way too greedy. They should have just locked him down immediately.
Oh, man, double ult commitment on the Terrorblade, and they can't even get him finished. Now Ninja Boogie, that's not your home. No TP, of course, so he's just pulling focus away. But obviously Paparazzi happy to pop that one down. In the meantime, though, we are going to see Moon be able to pop out the Exorcism to get some work done on that mid-tier 1 in bottom lane. 11 pressuring him.
What is this? No one has any kind of wards on the map. Like, the map is black, pretty much, besides this one ward near the shrine.
All the support's just too busy getting in on the action. They don't have time to buy wards. They just got to fight. Tier 1, I don't know, is it going to get denied? Yes, it will. Nice snipe right there from Paparazzi. And it's looking like a pretty nice start here for Vici Gaming at the moment. Ravage is going to be on cooldown for quite a while. Don't foresee Mineski looking to take any huge fights at the moment.
Yeah, this Terrorblade needs more time to come online, even though they can use him when they get Guardian Angel, and they need level 6 on Shadow Demon as well. Like, even if they get Guardian Angel, Arcane Orb still goes through, like, because it's a pure damage.
Yeah, but you know, at the moment, Mushi isn't really hitting like a truck. Obviously wants to get that extra bit of mobility picked up in the Force Staff, maybe before they do throw down. Looks like our friend Jab's here. Got Vendetta, but it's Paparazzi killing things up. Top lane. Comes across Ninja Boogie and picks off the support. Probably moving through the neighborhood, trying to get some ward vision down. Oh, Fenrir. Nah, that's my arcane rune.
Ravage, 6 seconds cooldown. He would just use it if it was ready.
Oh, we have Moon here. Coming across Ori. Ori almost has Metamorph now. He's got it. He could kill this, pop the Metamorph, and make a move towards the bottom lane if they'd like.
Look at the amount of damage just from level 1 Corrosive Haze. Like, once Vici Gaming sits in front of your towers and every time meta is up, they still didn't use it. They're gonna be so scary. Young 11 is really farmed. Level 10.
Oh. Swing and a miss from Lanham on that crush. Uh-oh. Step in. And they're committing everything they got. But a nice disruption save from Fenrir. 11's going to be able to walk out. Hits himself with the repel, and that's another Static Storm committed, but no kill for the follow-up. And they may have to just sack this tower.
Tidehunter has a Ravage.
Or not. Here comes Ice. Jab's looking to set things up first. They put focus on the Tide. And now they're looking to get in on Terrorblade. Jump in with the drop of the hammer. They're going to go for the finish. Ice swimming his way on forward. They get the glimpse back, but the repel stops it, but body blocks. Come out, and Fenrir tries to pull them further away from the rest of the team. It's a rotation coming out from Mineski that proves a bit profitable as the Prophet gets the most of it with 2 kills.
Yeah, 11 went back in and he got hit by Ravage, so he couldn't use the purification. Even though Repel was on cooldown, he already used. Even if he used the heal, Terrorblade would still probably die.
Tower down, this one they'll get. Meanwhile, there was pressure coming in from Vici in that mid lane. Mushi gets there, and he's just about done with that Force Staff.
Everyone just collecting those siege creeps with the Helm of the Dominator.
In. Ice has been putting in most of the work as far as objectives go. Working his way through that top lane, taking both towers, and now doing some work on this bottom tier 2. He'll swim himself out. Fenrir rotates in. Mineski take their business all the way up towards the top lane, it would appear. Lanham, who's been trying to solo farm his way towards that early Blink Dagger in traditional Lanham fashion. Getting pretty close, about 1,500 gold on his name right now.
Yeah, they have a lot of save on Vici with the Shadow Demon Disruption, with the Omni Knight.
Spots him out, doesn't even use the Vendetta Strike, just hits him casually with the stun and walks the other direction. Would have been nice to get that gank to prolong the Blink Dagger initiation, because I mean, if you look at their lineup at the moment, like, Lanham's the only true initiator for the team.
Now Lanham needs to get his Blink Dagger up to be in a position to initiate the fight. They have nothing. Like Shadowfin provides you with nothing. Omni Knight, Shadow Demon, pretty hard to pull off the demonic perk to start a fight.
What do you think about the early BKB pickup for Shadowfiend? I mean, we've been seeing a lot of early BKBs already in this series, but is it too early, risking of losing that 10 seconds and getting down to 5 that much faster?
I think what they want to do is repel the Terrorblade in team fight, so that's why Shadowfin decided to go for his BKB. Pretty much everything they have right now is magical damage besides DP ulti, and once the BKB is up, meta is up, they want to pressure the towers. They might go for 2 towers at once. Shadow Demon with level 1 disruption, I mean, it's not too much of a damage, but it's going to scale as the game goes by. What do we have? Dragonlance and Yasha. We see more S and Ys picked up on Terrorblade. Nothing to get rid of this game besides, let's say, a silence from a DP, which is not worth it. Gush as well. So he just wants to tank up. Now this is the problem. They don't have the catch at this point. 200 gold away from a Blink Dagger. They might go for a Roche, actually. They have enough damage.
They have vision. It looks like on that high ground, spotting Mushi. And Moon's already stepped in. Nice silence. And Static Storm dropped. Paparazzi, though, with that new BKB, unleashes it. They're going to be able to take down the Omni Knight. Paparazzi looking to go for the Requiem. Blows up Moon.
That's
Making it
huge
1-for-1. No Ravage expended yet as Mineski pull off.
Yeah, Omni Knight, again, getting caught in a bad position. He should not be in the Roche pit.
And still doesn't have the Guardian Angel anyways, but yeah. He's your paramedic. Don't want him to be on the front lines. But Mineski still have some firepower. Mushi a little close to trouble. They ping out that direction, and it looks like Vici don't want to move any further in.
So that's a Blink Dagger for Lanham. They know Static Storm is down, and the DP ulti is also down, so they might smoke and take another fight. I'm not sure if they have a smoke. Lanham doesn't have one. Fenrir, none.
BKB will be up soon, too. Back up again here for your Shadowfiend. Ori was looking to finish out the rest of his S and Y, I imagine. Here's Jabs. Back on the Vendetta towards the mid lane. Are they thinking about strutting their way right up towards this tier 1? There's the Metamorph. Immediate Fortify here. Rotation's coming. I think a fight is going to happen. Jabs leads in. Good stun. Good static. Good Ravage. Can they finish him off? With the hammer drop, it's going to be the Omni, the first one to fall yet again. Ori looking to backpedal here with Paparazzi. They try to split it. Fenrir turning it around. Crush, though, with the disruption. Moon steps in, and they're going to get the finish on the Terrorblade. This one's looking good for Mineski. Pull back from Lanham, and they'll take him out too. Double kill for Ice Ice Ice.
I don't know. They're pushing tier 1 towers. They have no sentries against Nyx Assassin, and again, positioning from 11. He is the frontliner for some reason. I guess he's relying on Shadow Demon's disruption.
That alone is nearly a 1,700 gold swing, and more to come, as it's going to be Mineski moving within the pit. Don't have the most damage to take down this Roche, but looks like they're going to be able to do it for free.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. Not the best Roche lineup that they have. Ice Ice will tank the damage. Now with the Guardian Breeze, he can remove whatever Reflection, Corrosive Haze. So pretty tanky. It's gonna be really hard to kill Tidehunter in these fights.
There we go. Moon taking the Aegis.
They are preparing for the late game. Nyx Assassin with GPM talent almost needs one more CS and Hand of Midas.
Here's a replay. Ice dances in front of him, but like you mentioned, they don't see Jabs. Jabs finds the opportunity to make the go onto the Omni Knight, and they follow it up with everything they got. Here it is. Ping call. There's the static, there's the Ravage, stops everyone else in their tracks. And by the time they come to, it's already too late.
Oh yeah, so Ravage actually hit Fenrir, that's why he couldn't use Disruption on Omni Knight.
Fortunate, awkward positioning here for Vici. The support's getting caught out, they're not able to save or get the saves that they need. Ice still top of the net worth here on this Tidehunter.
10,000, level 15. Like, he's gonna be pretty much impossible to kill.
Played Greaves, and he's really the one doing a lot of the base or tower sieging.
Lanham just loves that Eon disc, huh?
So Paparazzi has a Shadow Blade now. He's flexing it around this bottom lane. No kill opportunities. The rest of Mineski are heading their business down this mid lane. And there's the Call of the Exorcism now. Fortification's already out.
Yeah, this Shadow Blade pickup on Shadowfin will give him more mobility and solo kill potential on the sidelands and better split push.
Another tower down. 2 tier 2s now for Mineski. Terrorblade pushing things out through the top lane as he continues to just try to swell up even further after picking up the SNY. It looks like he's also going to be going in for a BKB. I mean, if Omni Knight keeps dying, someone's got to get it. they need some sort of magic immunity somehow. So I guess less pressure for your Omni Knight.
Yeah, even Omni Knight has Eon disc queued up just to keep him alive in those fights. It's a great item against the Tidehunter, against the Disruptor.
Whoa, I haven't seen a Midas in a long time, but Jabs picks one up on his Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, he is preparing for the late game. GPM talent plus a Midas, those items are just gonna stack up in his inventory.
Bottom lane, Mushi might feel comfortable under that tier 2, but what he doesn't know is Lanham's coming from the north. He might just blink into the trees. Nice blink back from Mushi. He read that one like a book. Uh-oh, on the other side, Ice, Static Storm. He also has a Ravage. And again, your Omni Knight, the first one to drop. Nice glimpse back onto Fenrir, and Mineski will scrap more.
Yeah, this is, again, Omni Knight in a bad position. They were trying to get a kill on OD, but Mushi showed his quick fingers, even in the previous game when he picked it up on a gyro just to evade the Chronosphere.
Do you think he does, like, click back or double click blink there?
I think it's a double click.
I think so, too. So fast. Oh, look at Mushi. Gets a spot on the Lanham, but Paparazzi's right there. Pump fakes the Requiem. And Mushi's just like, no, I'm not going to follow through with this.
They have a good vision, Vici. Look at the one on a mid. Provides so much vision. One behind the tower. They want to keep the pressure.
Moves
but
in for Ori.
Can't find the opening.
He has Sunder. He's silenced, though. Can't get it off. Tried to turn around, but too much in the stun department and the silence.
Like, the vision is there. They already have one behind tier 1 towers, and seems like they can't find any opening.
And here comes Mineski down this mid lane. The sound of their push heard through the crowd as they're awfully quiet at this point. We have to see what Vici can do to hold the base. As already, they're tier 3 under serious assault. Terrorblade, 20 seconds, doesn't want to have to use a buyback here, but is at risk of losing some serious base work. Move in, Static Storm, but it's actually Vici, could be in trouble. Astral though, Paparazzi waits with the Requiem, blows Mushi up. Ravage follow-up though from Ice will help hit it home for Mineski as they drop them both. Glimpse back onto Fenrir, and he's going to be the 3rd casualty. And with Moon still in the action, buybacks are going to have to be forced out.
Yeah, they decided to take a fight without the Terrorblade. They thought that they had an opening, but it's just an OD. They traded the tier 3 tower and some damage on both Raxes, plus a buyback on a Shadow Demon. So this DP ulti deals way too much damage at this point, and the threat from a Ravage, they can't fight into the Ravage. That's the problem. They have nothing to stop the Tidehunter with.
Was there a way they could have just handled? I mean, they seem totally content in letting the Omni Tidehunter just have that 1v1 for the longest time in the top lane. So I don't know if there was a way they were going to be able to neuter the farm of Ice 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 to the point he's at.
I mean, there's a bigger threat of a Tidehunter. If they're left in the same position, Tidehunter will provide you more.
Quadruple pump fake from Jabs, but Moon will hit it home. Dominating now on your Death Prophet. She's close to her BKB.
It feels really bad for Vici Gaming. They need to get on top of Disruptor in the fight, but there's always OD with the Blink, with the Hurricane Pike, Astral to position himself good just to save him. Really hard game for Vici. They need that BKB on a Terrorblade to take the fight.
Yeah.
If they could get a pickoff on a side lane with the big Requiem on one of the heroes and then take a fight, that would be ideal for them.
Here comes Mineski. It's Jabs leading out the front. Oh, they're pinging the illusion. It quickly disappears.
Yeah, but Mineski knows what's up. They're just grouping up together. Shrines are opened now since Tier 3 mid has fallen, and they're gonna threaten the Tier 3 tower on the bottom lane. BKB picked up on that Prophet, so she can go in aggressively. Level 3 Exorcism with that Blink Dagger, that's gonna deal a ton of damage. Young 11, Repel, yeah.
TP. He'll be fine. But things kind of working out the way that, you know, Kyle was saying at the end of the panel. He may have been sarcastic, but...
What does Kyle know? Just kidding. Shout out to Kyle. He's a great guy. Even though I like Melons more.
It felt like he wanted to change ship because of the other panelists backing up Vici on this one. But, you know, this Tidehunter's putting in a lot of work. They're finding some good ulti setups now. At the beginning, it seemed, you know, a little rough for him to go for the finish. But right now, it's working. Vici looking for the comeback now. They smoke. And they move as a posse all the way down through this bottom lane where Moon is pushing forward. If Moon lingers around, he could be in a bit of trouble. Here comes Paparazzi to scout him out. Hiding within the trees. Here comes the Requiem. Jumping Crush, and they'll blow him up. Oh, a Ravage, but the BKB was there. Now Mineski not able to find the opening they've been
Taunt.
getting so far. Ice 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 is so tanky. He's like, come on, swim with me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I talked about. A pickup with the big Requiem, and now they can go for the towers.
Oh, Lanham finds an opportunity to make the move for Mushi. Gives him the Corrosive Haze. Oh, but now finds himself in a bit of trouble. Jump in from Ice Ice Ice. That blink.
Yeah, the problem
Jabs.
is...
Limps back into a Static Storm. That's your Omni Knight. He's got a BKB, though. Pops it. Turns his attention right on to Mushi. And Paparazzi's following up with the right click. And they can't stop him. He can't quite make it away. He's trying. With the Force Staff will help. He turns around, and he goes ahead and sends an Astral onto the Omni Knight. There's the drop. One more right click, and he is out. Metamorphed Ori and Paparazzi trying to do the right clicks, but this Tidehunter is just so damn tanky. Reflections are not doing anything. Glimpse back. Ori locked within the kinetic field. Jumping from Lanham. Gets the crush. Will they finally break him down? Yes, they will. With the Silver Edge, it makes it a lot easier. And now a follow-up. They're looking to go for Mushi. Mushi on the back of a pipe, nice Astral. He blinks and makes it away.
Yeah, this is a good fight. With that Silver Edge, they can actually get the Tidehunter. Oh.
Nice silence right before the crush there from Moon to bail out Boogie. Ah, but Paparazzi moves in with the right-click damage and gets it finished. Moon jumps back in. BKB popped. More to fall here. Paparazzi decides to peace out.
Oh, he gets him.
No, he's used too many BKBs. So he's caught with the Yules and finished off.
Oh, that's a great kill. Well, Slaughter bought back. The problem is they don't have anything to control the fight with. The only reliable stun they have is a Slaughter, and once he goes in, he either gets astraled or pretty much taken down. They send him back, he dies, and this is the first time that I see Shadow Demon ulti used. Like 30 minutes in, I didn't see any of the ultis used.
What do you get on your Tidehunter for your next talent pickup? I'm just kind of curious at this point. He's getting close to level 20. Is this a Kraken Shell game, or because of the Silver Edge, do you not bother focusing on, oh, BKB use from 11?
Yeah, I still think Kraken Shell is fine. He's building the armor, the natural armor. So that's what, Solar Crest queued up for him. I mean, they can easily take him down with that Silver Edge, but OD should be the one taking care of him. Like, not trying to use Astral offensively or defensively if not needed. Just try to save it for the Tidehunter, because that Ravage in the fight, you're going to need it.
Yep, he's got Ravage up and ready right now. Obviously the Static Storm too. They smoke and plant some wards in the shrine area of Vici, and they draw out a path to round up and potentially behind where Vici Gaming currently are. Okay, well, Fenrir is going to be the one to tank the gank and lets the rest of Vici Gaming know what's up. Meanwhile, though, land him. Pressuring forward quite a bit here. And they're going to have to get rid of this little Cardi because he's been scouting out the Roche.
And Roche is about to spawn.
There it is. And Mineski say, hello. How you doing, big boy? Want to throw down?
It's being scouted out. Some damage mitigated with that wagon. Taken away from Roche. Not sure they have enough. Like, no,
they're not
they
even going
can't
for it.
contest it.
This is a big boost for Mineski here. 6K and rising, and now an Aegis to score in the pocket of Mushi. Leaving the cheese, I imagine, for your Death Prophet.
Yep. Paparazzi is forced to go into damage dealer, right clicker. Look at him.
Yep.
Crystallis. He just wants to be that front line with the BKB that deals ton of damage. Oh my god, that Prophet just picked up full AC.
Yeesh. Oh, Boogie. Eating a lot of damage. I like the little glimpse back. May have just saved his life. Bends off Paparazzi in the lane. Keeps the lane pushed back. Now pressure coming into the mid lane here. Ori and 11. 11 gives him the repel. But here comes Mushi, and possibly a flank here from Paparazzi and Lanham on the side. Jabs is nearby, though. He's got the Lotus Orb. Stalking him in. There's going to be the crush.
combo.
Jump in. Ori, BKB. They might focus one. They'll get two. Ori with both of them. Jump in Static Storm. Lots of damage on the Ice, Ice, Ice. They can't quite finish him, though. Lanham, though, wants to help. Sets it up with a nice crush. There's the Ravage, but he falls right after. Turn around for Mushi. He'll get the support, but that's it. Still a lost fight for Mineski. This one goes the way of Vici Gaming. Feels like it's been quite a while since they've taken the upper hand in a fight. They scored that one.
Yeah, they did a good job. Again, with the Shadowfin, starting the fight, blow up one hero, then they are 5 versus 4. But they need to take care of Lanham. Shadow Demon should be the one trying to save Lanham with the disruption. He is speedy enough, has that Tranquil Boots, Wind Lace, and the move speed talent, so he should be in a good position to try to save his buddy Lanham, which is the control hero that they have, the only one.
Watching the replay back right there, Mineski's positioning a
Look
little
at
too
that
far
last
apart.
crit.
And, you know, at the beginning of that, Ice, Ice, Ice really far forward. We saw jabs cut out on the side. Just better positioning, better setup for Vici. Bottom lane, Moon was chasing down Fenrir just a little bit, but opts to pull back. You see Boogie himself, obviously not too satisfied with how that panned out. Oh, blink back from Moon. Avoids the approach of Vici Gaming there.
And Lanham, his second name is Eon Disc. Like, he just loves the item. I mean, it's going to keep him alive in the fights, so that's really good. And the Shadow Demon can get close to him just to use the disruption.
I mean, he's just spitting out corrosive hazes, and he'll get like one, two, maybe even 3 approaches with that crush.
Yeah, the problem is that Shadowfin had the BKB first item, so that's 5-second BKB now, 8-second on the Omni Knight. And Terrorblade has, what, 8-second as well? But they still have Repel, so that's good for them.
Ushi dances around with 11 a bit. Now puts his eyes on that Cardi. But back to mid lane. Separate they go. For the first time in a while, you see Paparazzi at the top of the net worth here. Ice is finally handed over King of Net Worth. But as time goes on, who do you really begin to favor in this one? I can't help but feel like Vici Gaming may get the better end of it if they have the time.
Yeah, they don't have any reliable right click when the BKBs are up for Vici. Only physical damage they have is DP ulti, and if they just burst DP, then they can easily take a fight. There is Cheese on a DP, so that's gonna be a bit harder. Aegis still on OD, instant smoke.
There's Mineski. Ninja Boogie leading out the front. He has a gem now. May not want to hand that one over, but they dish out a scan. Just misses him from behind. Oh, Ward on the high ground. Are they going to go for this? Jump in, Ravage comes out. Follow up Static Storm. Here we go. Mineski, kick in the front door and say, how you doing there, Vici?
Oh, what a play from Vici, man. That smoke, high ground ward, Tidehunter with the Blink Dagger. They need the buyback.
They do. And now it could be trouble here. They're trying to get a hold of Ice Ice Ice, but the astral save that you were calling for from Mushi's there. And now they have to pull their focus. Mushi slides himself to the low ground. Jab's waiting in the middle, hiding under that Vendetta. Maybe looking for an opening, or he's very low. Still has that Sunder, though.
They don't have DP ulti, but they still have Aegis on OD and Cheese on DP. Like, if meta is down, the lanes are pushed out for Vici, so they will back out, regroup, go with the next DP ulti. Oh man, that was some sick play.
It was.
So who committed buyback? Terrorblade, Omni Knight.
Still lost their mid-setter axe, but obviously could have been much worse for him. But a good opening. Let's watch it again. Beautiful ward drop from Ninja Boogie. Gives them the whole story, and they move in. Nice quick BKB from Paparazzi, but everyone else not as fast. Quickly obliterated, and then the buybacks are forced out.
And there's the initiation tool that they needed. It was, what, fifth
Sentry
item,
on the mid lane. They spot Paparazzi, but they've already made their move. There is a Static Storm in response, and there's the Astral save. Mineski in position and ready to counter. Taking out Lanham, following it up with a Fenrir takedown. Mushi gets both. Glimpse back for 11, and it looks like he'll be the third. Can he make it away, though, on the back of a rappel?
He has another BKB.
He's running. He BKBs, and he'll TP.
Oh.
Oh!
Those little threes. And Dire Courier dies as well. They just need to push out the waves. Like, they don't have the best heroes to shove out the waves. That Prophet is all right, and so is OD Tidehunter to one extent.
E-warding here with that gem. And now here comes Mineski.
Or is doing a good job just splitting the map with the illusions.
Mushi in this mid lane sees an opportunity to make a go on this Terrorblade. And he's just kind of pulling attention away from the bottom, because here comes trouble.
Another Ravage is up.
Yes, it is. Right clicks coming in from the team. This Rax is crumbling apart. Mineski. Take the one and take the safe road out.
They don't want to risk anything, and it's good. Vici Gaming can't find any openings.
14K net worth advantage now for Mineski. Biggest advantage of the game so far. Death Prophet ult down, but they still have plenty of other ults to work with. And now it's on Vici to find a way to claw themselves back into the game.
Gem picked up by 11. They want to get rid of the vision that they have and try to smoke. But I think Mineski will just go as 5. They don't want to get blown up by
they smoked
by
right
a
under a
Shadowfin.
ward, and they had the gem to see it. They got to know it was spotted, but they're still moving forward. I think now the call's been made that Mineski may know this is happening. Vici look for another way to get in. Oh, they popped that smoke awfully fast. Now Terrorblade picking up the old Bariza Ducanya, a.k.a. Daedalus.
And there's going to be a ton of damage, but you didn't really feel that Terrorblade dealing the damage. They're dealing way too nicely with Mineski's heroes. They either go on him and make him low HP, so he's forced to go back, even afraid of using Sunder, or rest of the team is gone and his meta is running out, so he can't take the fight.
Vici hanging back now. You have another smoke? I don't think so. Got to find another way to get this going.
They have a smoke on Fenrir.
Oh, there it is. Okay, okay.
I mean, it's do or die for Vici, but it seems like when they go for another set of Raxes, they could wait for a Roche. There is the third Roche. This would benefit Vici a lot.
Oh, yeah, it
Tide
would.
Hunter with the double Ravage, or even a DP. Probably Tide Hunter, bigger threat.
Illusion to get rid of the Alpha Wolf, who's been standing guard in that Roche pit. Obviously, both these teams really want to get a piece of that Roche pie. Mineski first take to the lanes to push them back out.
Another smoke. They want to surprise him. Probably go from behind. Oh.
And in the right spot, look at this smoke back from Mineski. Vici Gaming quickly Delta split, it looks like. But some of them still congregated around this mid lane. Paparazzi's been spotted. A move in. A BKB pop, though. They could quickly step back and wait for the BKB to cancel. Or do they? Jump in now from Ori. Hard shots on the jabs. They may have to sack him, and they will.
Jabs has a buyback. Gem drop. ISSI picks it up.
That's 2 BKBs down, though, for Vici.
So Metamorphosis is committed, and they have a vision in the Roche pit, which means that they want to go for it.
They have to.
Yep.
They have to, otherwise they're not going to have anything to offer in a fight. Minesi's just going to wait for Vici to do their thing, anticipating that they're going to have to move in for it. I mean, DD Metamorph is awfully scary.
Yeah, but his meta is running out. I'm not sure how they're going to fight without the meta. They have a Reflection, yes. It's level 20, so 6 seconds cooldown.
Feels like Mineski, you're at good control at this point. Ice, the swamp monster guarding the pit, if you will. Swimming about, just egging on Vici to do something. Mineski know that this is still a touchy fight. They don't get the right approach. It could hand things back over to Vici. We saw this in this series already. Paparazzi Chrono.
They're not buying any items. They have enough to buy 2 sites, but they don't want to do it. They want to keep the buybacks, and if they use them on both of the cores, I don't see Vici Gaming winning the fight.
Illusion sent in. Mineski go to follow. Oh, Arcane Rune for the Death Prophet. And she's going to use the Exorcism. All right, Vici. This one's on you. They ward the high ground. It spots them all out. Not clumped, though. That may have been a possible jump from Mineski if they were clumped together, but now Vici can make a cautious approach here. What are they going to do? Mushi's waiting on the outside. The Roche is going down. They're sending in Little Creeps. They spotted Mushi. There's the Ravage, though. All BKBs have been popped to avoid the stun. Roche is going to be dropped. Refresher Shard going to be picked up. Moon grabs the Aegis. And now they move in.
They picked up
Omni Knight's
everything.
down. And now here comes Mineski. Looking for the final stretch if possible. They get the takedown. Little Fenrir, who has a buyback, but Omni does not have a buyback. He's out for nearly 80 seconds.
Paparazzi trying to solo kill Disruptor with that build, Bloodthorn plus Nullifier. He can get him.
He does, but immediate buyback from Ninja Bookie here.
So they have 2 cheeses, 1 Aegis, and 1 Refresher Shard.
Who has that shard?
DP, but 40 seconds on the ulti. I think they're gonna pop it and just go for the tower. All right, 11 bot back. They're just gonna wait for it.
No, they're forcing Vici to spend money. Very cautious play here from Mineski, knowing that they're just 1 win away from being in that top 3. And that's a guaranteed, what, 450 DPC points? That moves them up probably a couple of spots on the chart.
They don't want to risk anything, and they will let the cooldowns reset. They're gonna have those BKBs. They want to maybe even wait for the Ravage and then go. No vision whatsoever for Vici Gaming. They have 1 ward at their base because they thought this is a good ward when they are sieging your base, just to see more.
Another level 25 coming together we see for the Death Prophet. Haste with Exorcism now.
That Prophet should give that Refresher Shard to Tide Hunter. He's going to have 2 ultis in 40 seconds. Cooldown on 1.
I mean, 1 seems to always be kind of nullified by a couple of BKBs, but having that second for when the BKBs quickly fizzle out. Super nice. And it looks like Mineski are going to be taking it all the way up north. Vici Gaming in a bit of a jam here. Have to rely on another high ground defense.
Double sight of Wise now. So they can easily take down Omni Knight before he can get any spells off.
Paparazzi outside the base here. Ooh. Go back in. Here we go. There's the exorcism. Fortification. Gonna be committed. Jump in. Reflection. They traded out. Paparazzi pinged. Hiding in a viz. There's the plate agrees. Gonna be pop. Paparazzi already commits his BKB and has to backpedal. With the Astral coming out on the moon, he's gonna be safe.
They can't fight into this.
She's got so many lives now with the cheese, with the Aegis, and then a refresher shard to use on back of this. Vici gotta do something. They move in. BKB Metamorph. Looking to fight on forward, but look at Mineski just backpedal here. Now they're focused though. Onto the Tide. He's able to get the Ravage up, follow up Static Storm. Good Guardian Angel, but boom! Mushi drops down the toolbox, not just the hammer, and kicks Vici Gaming down to the bottom bracket.
Yeah, they at one point it just became too scary. They didn't utilize their lineup that they had. They tried to go for tier 1 towers way too many times, but no sentry wards and bad positioning from Omni Knight cost them the game. Also, gotta give credit to Mineski, man. They are looking hot.
That was a very clean game by them. Very clean. Ice is Tide Hunter for pretty much the full first half of that game. Top his net worth. I mean, feels like a win-win when you have a matchup against the Omni Knight, but eventually the Tide Hunter gets so big, he's just too hard to deal with. Mushi, quick reactions, great saves. That was just overall a very clean game.
Yeah, Paparazzi had a great game, but yeah, the lack of control in these fights, it feels now it feels like a really greedy lineup from Vici Gaming when you look at it.
Yeah, lack of and the positioning too.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen Omni Knight just a little out of position, being taken out of the fight first, meaning that the rest of his team is really left at their own. Crazy stuff, exciting series that's going to wrap up our matches for tonight, but we still have more action to come. But first, let's get the analysis here from the desk on game number 3.
Yes, indeed. Thanks very much. A victory for Mineski guarantees them a top 3 finish for the first time at round number 16 of the Dota 2 professional circuit since round number 2, when they appeared in 2 consecutive finals at the start of the season. A welcome return for the SEA team as they advance at the demise of Vici Gaming. Unfortunately, Jack, China doesn't get 2 in the upper bracket final.
Yeah, it is the SEA-bound DK Burning alumni who end up taking the series, and I think, well, much credit to them, but I think VG played just one of the sloppiest games that I have seen. I think that last fight kind of epitomized it with this Lenham not sure when to come in, loops all the way around the Ancients. By the time he's ready to contribute, the fight's already over. But so many sloppy plays by VG throughout this game. They tried to force 2 towers, both mid and bottom, without sentry wards. Old Levin was routinely away from his team and got caught quite a few times. They had some really sloppy engagements. Didn't respond at all with the support rotations to protect mid, as Paparazzi was playing aggressively, but he got roamed on without even smokes. Disruptor just walked up that hill and was like deja vu. Just caught him over and over. It's such a sloppy game from VG, and I mean, they did not deserve to win this game.
Yeah, I would comment mostly on the item decisions by all of Vici. I felt like Mineski did everything right. You saw Ice go Helm of the Dominator into Greaves, Pipe, Blink, even back for a Solar Crest. The Death Prophet going for an Assault Cuirass. Both cores getting BKBs. They're buying all the teamfight items. You look at Vici, SF's rushing a BKB, so by the time it's 25 minutes into the game, it's already down to 5 seconds. His Omni Knight going Helm of the Dominator into BKB. The Terrorblade going Sanj and Yasha instead of Manta against a Silence with a Shadow Demon on his team. Like, the strength of that hero is you pop your Manta, you send it down a lane, the Shadow Demon can just play with those illusions. The wave is pushed forever, but Sanj and Yasha? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And they're playing with no Shivas, no AC, and no Solar Crest against a team that has that. And I feel like that's part of the reason it looks sloppy, because Mineski takes, it's so much easier for them to play the fights.
Winter?
First 2 games, I think, taken a toll. This is I mean, I agree with both of them. This game has been by far the worst game out of the 3 games, execution-wise. But they did have first 2 games, which is really, really taxing. Not surprised that there were mistakes, but there were a lot of mistakes in this game.
Yeah, 3 hours and 37 minutes the series yesterday, and getting on for over 3 hours today. That's a lot of Dota in 2 days.
It's a lot of predicting too.
I feel like it's worse for the players.
Do you ever just get? I mean, it's not something you probably experience very often, Jack. But do you ever get tired of being right all the time? It takes a lot out of you.
Well, I don't know what that feels like. I think I'd just pick against Winter if I wanted to.
That's the strategy I've been
Yeah,
employing.
what happened today, Winter, with the whole, oh, that's it now, I'm just going to pick the best team rather than the drafts. Drafts mean nothing. What happened to that today?
I was wrong. What else can I say?
No, but I thought that was going to be your theory. Why did you go away from that? You'd have been fine today if you did that.
Well,
Drafts look good?
drafts look good, yeah. That's the thing.
You're so easily pulled back into it. MVP in this one.
Ice.
Ice.
100% ice.
No way. There's
I mean,
no other.
He just crushed the game.
Crushed the lane.
Yeah.
He took his top net worth as well at one point, just
yeah.
after that as well.
He took the tier 2
Itemized
top
brilliantly. Yeah.
at like 9 minutes, 10 minutes. He itemized perfectly. He played perfectly. He's swimming through the river, just taunting them. And I just didn't see him make any mistakes. And I would say Ice specifically, but Ice and Zai are the 2 players that I've watched, because I've watched a lot of games at this event. And those are the 2 players that seem to consistently exceed expectations against players, against the highest caliber teams in high pressure situations. Those 2 guys seem to just perform better than you would even expect them to, and they're obviously world class. But Ice really demonstrating why I think he is one of the best, if not the best offlaner currently out there. I mean, it's really a toss-up in my eyes between him and Mind Control. I don't know if there's really arguments you can make for other players. And the last point I want to make on that game, the defining moment for me when I knew Mineski would win was when they were smoked outside the Vici base. They got ward down, and you know what they did? They made a play to win the game. And they blinked in and blew everything. They got 3, forced a buyback, took a Rax. From then on, you know they're playing they're playing to win the game.
Yep.
And that's what you got to do in a game 3 to make the top 3. Congrats to Mineski. They also now grab enough DPC points to guarantee a top 8 for now.
Not quite. 1,080 they'll go to, which is 9th on the DPC. So
Really?
yeah,
Aren't they already at like 600?
Not quite. Not quite there. I think they need 2nd for 6th place, which is probably the idea.
Are you sure? What are they
maybe
at right now?
we can figure out the points in a moment. But apparently the interview is ready, so let's go over to hear from Ninja Boogie.
人来说有点难念啊，大概就是一个忍者吧，对吧？我们来问一下，首先这场比赛是一个2-1，那么他们在经历了第2盘的一个大翻盘之后，是怎么样调整的呢？
First off, congratulations on the win, Ninja Boogie. You guys had a close series. It was a 2-1 win, and you guys lost game 2, which was a really close game with lots of back and forth. Can you give us some comments about the game?
I mean, I don't know about the game, but for me, I hated how I play. I guess the nerves got to me, and I just didn't feel like I played my 100%. So, yeah, I'm disappointed in myself.
他说第2局他主要是觉得自己发挥非常差，可能当时太紧张了，然后就发挥越来越差，就非常讨厌自己的发挥吧。
看来是主动把锅全部都背起来了。那么明天他们即将迎战的是老干爹，同样也是一中国战队。那么他们对于老干爹现在的状态会给一个什么样的评价呢？
So for your next series, you guys are playing against LGD, which is also a very dominant Chinese team. What are your thoughts about their performance so far?
I mean, winning Liquid's always something to be proud of, so I think they're going to be a tough opponent.
就认为老干爹能打赢李逵是一个非常好的一个成绩了，就是已经展示他们是一个世界顶尖的一个强队。然后他们也是认为赞同，就是 LGD 是一个会对他们来说是一个非常强悍的一个对手。
那么我们最近也一直在讨论的一个问题，就是最近我们发现本届 DAC 上面北美区的队伍的战绩都不是很好，但是虽然Ninja Boogie 是在东南亚的一个队伍里，但是他本人是一个北美人，所以他对于有没有觉得肩负着这种北美战区的一个荣耀感？
So even though you're in a Southeast Asian team, Mineski, you're an American. So you are effectively the last North American hope in this tournament. What are your thoughts about shouldering that responsibility?
Bring it on, man.
拿上来吧。
好的，我们也很喜欢你的这种自信，再次感谢你接受我们采访。那接下来我们有请礼仪小姐送上我们这一轮的由主办方完美世界游戏为大家准备的亚洲邀请赛的选手服。这边
We'll let him sign his shirt. Just to get back to DPC points, yes, Kyle was right. Of course, they have 900 on the board already, so they would go to 1575, which would take them above Na'Vi into 7th. That's what they actually are right now. They're guaranteed that. Can't be any worse. If they finish second, if they get to the grand final, they'll move into 4th place overall with 2,250. And if they win, they'll stay in 4th, but they'll increase their gap over the 5th place team, which will be Newbie on 2,200. They'll have 3,200. So there you go. Kyle is always right. The Aura Kyle gets it right again.
I hate that you're trying to force this meme.
It's not forced. No, it's been taken on. Reddit are all over it. Twitch chat are all over it. Sorry, buddy, but that's it. It's done now.
The stock in this is already plummeting.
Maybe, but it's out there. It's done. You can't argue with memes. They just happen, Kyle. Just go along with them. Ask Jack.
I can't argue with memes. I like that one.
This is a worse pump and dump than even like the crappiest crypto.
Indeed. Let's not talk about that right now. Just wrap up on this this game. Mineski, great result, Winter, for the SEA region as well. Really buoys them as well, doesn't it?
Well, 71 is the unsung hero, I would say. He brought a huge change to the team. Since him taking over the drafting, I think everyone in the team trusts him, and it's very difficult to get that achieved in the team, you know. So I think props to him.
Yep, he's won the battle.
Unless 71 had some secret handshake with his